Yes.
All
So,
right.
so tell us your name and all that, and the year that everything got started.
Oh, my name is Gladys Willis, and my husband and I lived in Rochester from the time we got married in 1948. And we both had the same goals in life, is to help others. And so I think the Lord put us down here because this was an ideal place that we could start to help others. And so when people came to the Mayo Clinic, it wasn't that they couldn't afford a place to stay. They just wanted someone to talk to and be comforted. And so a good number of people in the congregation kept people in their homes. Jerry and I kept a lot of people in our homes. Some of the first people we kept for 3 weeks. It was a young man, I think he was about 25 or 26 years old, that came that had had something that he thought he wouldn't live unless he got his heart taken care of. And of course, in that day, heart surgery wasn't known in other places like it was here, and he found help here. We kept the couple for 3 weeks, and they had a little girl, Candy, and she became a friend of our son's. Anyway, today, in 2015, we're still corresponding with that whole family. The family has grown up. We kept the grandparents when they came. That was quite a long story. But anyway, that was one of the greater stories of people we kept. Before, we kept people from Alaska and in our homes, and along with others, we had a wonderful preacher here, Austin Seibert, and he was very gracious, he and his wife, at keeping people. So everyone was very cooperative at keeping people. But as I said, sometimes when we kept them for 2-3 weeks, it became a little hard with our own families. And Jerry and I kept his father too. But anyway, we got to talking. I must include one of the most important people in this little story. Boots Young came with her daughter, Sandy, and she was here for a long time with her daughter. And that's how we got to know Boots, because she was faithful in the church, and we just made friends. And so anyway, her husband, Walt, would come periodically, and we got to talking, and we thought, it would be nice if we had a house that, people could stay at and maybe comfort each other in their problems. That was really the beginning of the work of the house. We got to thinking about it, and some of us had kept the names and addresses of the people we had kept in our homes, and so we sat down and wrote a letter and told them what we planned on doing. The house, as I recall, costs $80-some thousand. And so we said we need a down payment, and if so, some of you could help us with the down payment, or some of the churches could help us. That would be wonderful. We'd like to start this work. I can hardly tell this without crying, because we got almost $60-some thousand, which was more than the down payment. And that was the beginning of the house. Well, of course, then we needed someone to take care of the house. And at the time we were talking to Boots and Walt. Walt was a mail carrier, and we thought, well, he'll be retiring in a few years, and they would both be ideal parents, house parents. Well, sadly, they were at a daily vacation Bible school And the last day of Daily Vacation Bible School, Walt had a heart attack and passed away a few days later. And so we were really looking for a man and a woman, but we couldn't find anyone that we thought was fit. And because we thought Boots was so wonderful, Jerry said, you know, why don't we ask Boots? And so Jerry called Boots, and at that time, this was maybe, I don't know, 2 years after Walt had passed, and she was in a boys' dormitory at a college near Canton, Ohio, and she said, you know, I'm perfectly happy here, I'm close to home, you know, why would I want to leave? And Jerry said, you don't know what we have here, you know, I'd just like you to come and see what it is. I'm going to send you a round-trip ticket, and I want you to come and see what we have here. And so she agreed to that. This was her first flight, and she came and stayed in the house overnight. Jerry said, I want you to stay in the house overnight to see what our house is like. So she agreed to stay overnight. She woke up the next morning. She said, this is where I belong. And that was the beginning of the House of Compassion. And the credit goes to Boots. She made our house for so many years. She was such a sacrificial person. She would give you the last penny she had. Nothing was for herself, it was for everyone else. That was really the beginning. And she would, you know, on Sundays she'd make delicious meals for all the people at the house. If there weren't that many there, she'd invite a lot of people from the church. She was just an extraordinary person. We just still love her a lot and are sorry where she is today. We just have so many great memories of her, but all the great things and the accomplishments of the house go to her. Jerry and I helped her all the years she was here. Like, she would send letters, Christmas letters to everyone. She would dictate the letters and I would transcribe them. We would put it on Christmas stationery, and then we'd send Christmas letters so people could know what had been happening at the house, you know. But she was so great to keep in contact with everyone. I don't know what kind of a filing system she had, but it was extraordinary.
Wow.
But, you know, Jerry and I just had such a wonderful life because of the House of Compassion. We just learned to know so many people. Until about a year ago, I sent over 200 Christmas cards to people that were still here, you know. I'm not sending quite that many now. I'm going on 92, so.
Oh, goodness, wow.
Some don't send quite that many, but still have lots of friends. Like this last year, my labels didn't work out like they should, so I didn't get all the cards sent I should. So now I'm getting cards. We didn't hear from you. Are you still there? Are you okay? So now I'm still answering Christmas letters. So it's been a wonderful work. I know all of you who will be here will just think, you know, even though the weather might not be what you like, when you see all the people that are helped here, that is the greatest reward. That is the greatest reward. I just think Jerry and my Jerry lived to be a little past 90, so we had lots of years together, just lots of enjoyable years helping people. That was our life.